Hey guys, this is Ambi from underdogchance.com and welcome back to my MLB betting mall predictions and projections for today, Tuesday, September 5th. We have lots of games and I found two qualified bets, small value, but let's go through all the games, okay? Minnesota Cleveland, Sonny Gray against Tanner Bibi. Based on my projections, Cleveland should be at plus 115. Bookmakers have this game basically even, so there is not enough value. Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, and Seattle, Cincinnati. I would skip those two games because we have league average numbers for the pitchers because they are not qualified in my betting model. Then we have Boston against Tampa Bay Rays, Cutter Crawford against Zach Eflin, two right-handed pitchers. And based on my projections, Tampa Bay Rays will have 60.50% of chance to win this game. So my line, my fair line on Tampa Bay Rays is minus 153, bookmakers minus 156. So as you see, my numbers and bookmakers numbers are the same. So this is not qualified bet. Then we have LA Dodgers against Miami Marlins. Based on my projections, Miami should be at plus 110. Bookmakers have them at plus 139. So there is small value with Miami Marlins, but still not good enough to pull a trigger. If you follow my work and my betting models, late in the season I found that the best plays are those with little bit bigger value. Okay, although those are all small value bets. So if you like Miami, this is something you can consider, but I would definitely not take Clayton Kershaw and Dodgers at this price at minus 152. I think they are overrated. Detroit Yankees, Alex Faedo, Garrett Cole, two right-handed pitchers, and based on my projections, Detroit should be at plus 179. My betting model gives them 35.86% of chance to win this game. Bookmakers have them at plus 200, so this is not qualified bet. Mets Washington, Jose Quintana, Patrick Corbin, two left-handed pitchers. I have New York Mets at minus 105 and Washington plus 105. Those are my projected odds. And bookmakers have Mets at minus 139 and plus 127 on Washington. So based on my projections, Mets are a little bit overrated, but of course, this is not good to take. Okay. Then we have Mile Mikolas. So I will just delete it. There were no odds back then when I was making projections, so I would skip this game. It is St. Louis against Atlanta, and we should ignore these numbers. San Francisco Giants, Chicago Cubs. Based on my projections, if San Francisco Giants start with league average pitcher, Chicago Cubs should be at minus 142. But of course, this is automatically no based on my criteria. Chicago White Sox, Kansas City Royals. I have Chicago White Sox at plus 116 and Kansas City Royals at minus 116. So if you check my projected odds and bookmakers odds, you see that my odds and bookmakers odds are basically the same. So I would skip this game, okay? Houston, Texas, Valdez against Nathan Eovaldi. Based on my projections, Texas should be small underdog. When I was making projections, there were no odds on Texas and Houston. So those are just my independent analysis without bookmakers odds. And I never check soft bookmakers odds. I always check Pinnacle odds. A lot of people bet. So there are basically a couple of ways how you can win at sports betting, right? You can do arbitrage betting. You can compare soft bookmakers lines with Pinnacle lines, and then if there is enough difference, then you can bet on soft bookmaker. You can also do steamers, for example, when you check Pinnacle lines, and if the odds drastically drop, and then soft bookmaker don't move the line, you bet on soft bookmaker. Why the line moves on Pinnacle? Because there was some action, probably a sharp bettor bet and move the line. And what I do, I always make projections against the pinnacle odds, okay? Because uh, you know, if you use those hacks, you are basically trying to find the patterns what are sharps doing, right? Which is completely okay. And I always say that you should take every single advantage on the betting market, whether this is bonuses, arbitrage betting, comparing pinnacle steamers, line movement, promotions, all kind of things, okay? But the question is, who is the guy who is actually beating the pinnacle lines? Who are those guys? Who are those guys? And this is something I try to teach people and my followers and those who join my journey and the betting course, that they make their own projections, they can make their own analysis, and then they can beat pinnacle lines. Because if you can beat pinnacle lines, you can also beat other bookmakers as well, because you know that all other bookmakers makes a lot of mistakes, they don't move the line correctly. But for doing this, you need more as a software. And my goal in my life was always to be a betting expert, despite I don't call myself an expert, because there are much more skilled bettors than me. But I wanted to be self-sufficient, independent sports bettor who can make my own analysis, my own odds, and then I can make my own bets, okay, without depending on someone else, okay. And I always use pinnacle odds, and so I don't check the soft bookmakers lines where the limit on a bet is, I don't know, $20. So this makes no sense, right? uh, so based on my projections, Houston is minus 111, and I didn't check the Pinnacle odds back then because Pinnacle still didn't have the odds. Okay, and you can bet then on betting exchanges, Matchbook, Betfair, Asian bookmakers. So it depends. Offshore bookmakers. It depends where you live, what is your location, because there is no uh, one single pet for everyone. Because as I said, this is something I said many times, we live in different countries, we bet at different time zones, we have different financial situation, some people have jobs, some people have families, some people have much more time to bet, some people have a little bit less time to bet and analyze. And yesterday uh, I saw one professional bettor, one of the best in the USA, who is betting on NFL, and he said that this is a full-time job for him. So basically, he's doing analysis whole day during the week. It is a full-time job. When if you bet such market like NFL, it is a full-time job, right? And if you don't have time to do this, then it is maybe better to pick some smaller markets. I will also release Counter Strike betting model projections in next couple of minutes, and I want to focus back on esports a little bit more, because if you check the sharpest markets like NFL, English Premier League, those major league sports, you will see that there are the best sports bettors and you are competing against them, okay. They are very attractive because it is a huge marketing all over the internet, all over the media. This is what attracts people and they try hard to bet these markets, but you can always separate what you will watch and what you will bet. Okay, I'm playing with AI and college football. I was watching the first quarter of college football the other day. I don't know what was the game. I think it was Texas Christian against Colorado. And it is very exciting game. College football is very exciting. I was watching college football, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago when I was researching all the markets. And the college football is great to watch, but it is maybe not the best for an average person who doesn't have a lot of time to analyze these games, to bet on NFL or college football, where you are really going against the sharpest minds in the market. Especially if you don't bet, I don't know, 10,000 American dollars per game. So if you're betting, I don't know, 200, $300 per game, there are much smaller markets because the money is the same. It is the same if you make 30 units with $300 as a unit. If you make 30 units in NFL, and if you make 30 units in, I don't know, esports or volleyball or whatever it is, the money at the end is the same, right? But the competition is not the same. Uh, so this is something, maybe one thing to consider. I was talking about this many times, and I think this is a good tip to everyone who wants to make money and who finds hard time betting on, for example, NFL. And you can still watch games. College football is great to watch. NFL is great to watch. Sometimes I can watch a game NFL. It is great to watch. But on the other side, so in the morning you make betting analysis for, I don't know, European hockey or something like that. You make a couple of units, and then at night you watch with your family NFL, college football, without any stress, without any nerves, without any arguing on social media about picks. So you just have fun to watch. So this combination, if we can balance this, this is many times much more beneficial. And I'm not saying that NFL, college football, I don't know, those major league sports are not profitable. After all, I'm betting baseball as well, but this is something I'm doing for 15 years. I'm not saying that this is not profitable. It is profitable, but everyone must know himself, and everyone must understand how much time, passion, hard work you're willing to put into it. Okay, because if you're going to bet NFL, for example, and if we have one professional sports bettor who said that he this is full-time job for him in NFL, and he's doing it for 15 years, and this is a full-time job for him, then how you can compete against such guy if you don't use any numbers, you don't make any analysis, you have a job, you have a family. So maybe being honest with yourself, and maybe to reconsider maybe some other options. Okay, I'm not saying that you should not bet NFL, but maybe sometimes it is better to take, I don't know, 1 2 months to research other markets, maybe see other opportunities as well, and maybe you can find something better too. Okay, and then we have two games where I found small value. Although this is still not good bets, good value bets, they are still crossing this line of adjusted Kelly criterion 1. But the best qualified bets are 1.65 or bigger for money lines, and 1.25 for first five innings. So the first one is Baltimore against Angels. Baltimore are fighting for playoffs. Of course, they are one of the favorites to win World Championship. It is not World Championship. It is MLB Championship, World Series. It is World Series. Probably MLB Series should be. So it was a nice discussion on the internet about whether it should be NBA Championship or World Championship. I'm not that into this, but it was funny. But yes, maybe we should be more specific when it comes to domestic competitions, because European Champions League in soccer, this is the biggest competition, and they don't call themselves world champions. And like one guy said, Ronaldo, Messi, and Neymar, three players are bigger than the whole basketball, right? Because soccer is the biggest sport on the planet. So we have 8 billion people on the planet, and those three players are bigger than whole basketball, right? And they don't call themselves world championship. So that was good point. And as I said, I'm not into that. So we can call it whatever we want. So I don't waste the energy for this. But maybe my opinion is that domestic championship should be called MLB Championship, NBA Championship, and then maybe we can have some world competition where the best clubs play against each other, and who wins is a world champion. Because European soccer Champions League, they send the winner to play against other world clubs, and a lot of times South Americans teams win. So European club is not the best at that time. So this is one. So if NBA team would play against Barcelona, Real, or EuroLeague champion, I believe that 1 out of 10 times Real or Barcelona could win. Maybe, I don't know, that NBA team. I'm not sure, but of course this is just discussion. But it can happen that they could win them and they would be world champion. Okay. The next game, Colorado, Arizona. Based on my projection, Arizona should be bigger favorite than the odds reflect. Bookmakers have them at minus 196, and I have them at minus 234. So Angels and Arizona, two small value bets, if you like. Then we have Toronto, Oakland, Chris Bassett, Ken Waldichuk. I have Oakland at plus 157, bookmakers plus 160. So this is not qualified bet. And the last game, Philadelphia, San Diego Padres, not qualified even with league average pitcher. Okay. So that's it for me today. Thank you for watching, and whatever decide to take, I wish you good luck.